So in this last chi-square video, I'm going to talk about the analysis of that chi-square value. And so when we do the analysis of the chi-square value, we look at a chi-square table of values, of critical values. And you'll notice along the side here that we see the degrees of freedom. And notice, so they go down. We will, for our test, be looking at this row, degrees of freedom with one value. And along the top here, we have what it says to be probability and then a whole bunch of numbers, okay? What these numbers mean are a probability or a percentage. So a probability of 0.9 is actually a percentage of 90%. Probability of 0.1 is a probability of 10% likelihood of it happening. Probability of 0.01 is therefore a 1% likelihood of it happening. So it's really how likely is this data to have occurred, okay? And we will, if you'll notice, there's this big line down the center, not really the center, but a section. We will accept our null hypothesis, right? And remember, our null hypothesis is the difference between the expected and observed is totally due to chance. We will accept the null hypothesis if the probability of getting that data totally due to chance is 10% or greater. So notice the cutoff here is 10%. Or rather, it'll actually be basically 6% or greater. And we will reject if the likelihood is 5% or less. So really the question is, does it exist on the reject side? If it is in between the 0.5 and 0.05 and the 0.1, we will still accept it, anything bigger than this. So basically anything on this side, okay? Sorry for the confusion there. So you'll remember that our chi-square value for our test was 1.33 with 1 degree of freedom, and you'll notice that exists right about here, okay? In which case it is on the accept the null hypothesis side of our table of critical values. So we know that yes, basically our observed data was following the same genetic path that our expected data was.